Underwater is the last film released with the 20th Century Fox's original logo on it. So, as a sad occasion that is to say, I'm glad this movie came out in January and not the summer like it was supposed to, because otherwise he would still probably be waiting on it. But I'm here now talking about it because this is probably one of my favorite movies of the year. Okay, so Underwater follows a group of workers on a drilling facility at the bottom of the ocean when they are attacked by unknown creatures after an earthquake destroys their facility. Led by Kristen Stewart, T.J. Miller, and John Gallagher Jr. I almost said Peter Gallagher. It's not the OC. The group, of course, must find a way to not only survive the creatures, but find a way out of the facility before it's too late. Why, oh why, couldn't this movie come out last summer? To be honest with you, I know they marketed this as a January movie, and January, as we all knew at the time, not know now, because technically January was the best month of movie releases. We had this, we had Bad Boys, we had 1917 technically for us out here in the States, even though that came out on Christmas. January and February weren't so bad a month for movies. Those were the best 2 months of movies we've ever got. It's a shame those were probably the last 2 months of great movies we're gonna get in a theater. This movie surprised the shit out of me. Okay, I did not think this movie was gonna be any good. Okay, especially when I seen the trailer and the way it was advertised, I'm like, this is Alien Underwater. As probably everybody else probably said, it's Alien. But watching this movie, not only is the director a fan of Alien, I actually appreciate it more that it's like a movie that we all know and love, you know? I'm not sure if that's just by accident or if it's just an homage. This is probably the biggest homage to Alien I think I've ever seen. I mean, literally everything they do is almost copy and paste. But unfortunately, I can't hate it. I can't. Because I actually liked Kristen Stewart here. T.J. Miller didn't piss me off, surprisingly. John Gallagher Jr. is another underrated actor. He was like my second favorite thing about 10 Cloverfield Lane as well. Kristen Stewart surprises me. Again, she was the best thing about that shitty Charlie's Angels movie. Surprise, surprise? Not really. Her and Robert Pattinson have come a long way. So, my hat's off to both of y'all for whooping that ass. That's all I want. If you can surprise me, I'll give you all the credit in the world, okay? For her in a horror / action movie, that was the part that was going to sell me on her or not, and it worked. So I'm glad that worked out the way it did. Special effects on this bad boy is nice. Movie costs around 50 to 80 million, but I'm gonna round it off to the great 80 million because, as you can tell, this was not cheap. Special effects are amazing, okay? They do rival The Abyss a little bit, just a little bit, because certain scenes in here reminded me a lot of The Abyss, which I also reviewed back in the summer. Technically, I watched Underwater before I watched The Abyss, so technically I watched this first, but uploading it last. I don't know why I'm doing it like that. It's just how I do things. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of that. I don't mind. He's a fan of good movies. The director is a fan of good movies. Finally. If you're gonna pay homage to a movie, that's fine. You can call it something else. He actually did that. He's not gonna say, oh look, I'm gonna remake Alien and put it underwater and call it Alien. No! Because it's not Alien. They're sea creatures. They're technically sea creatures that we probably hear about, myths, but we never see. And I think he used that as the plot of this movie, and it works. It works very well, and I'm glad, because it makes for original content to show. If you had told me The Meg would have been a movie about sea creatures, giant sea creatures, which I also enjoyed, and that a year later we would get one about sea creatures that we thought we would never see on a screen, that we can't see in underwater because, you know, we can survive that far down below, and that movie makes that known as well, bruh, you got my thumbs up. Thank you, Roger Ebert, for that. I'm giving Underwater a B-. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. The fact that it didn't make my Blu-ray collection video this year kind of makes me sad, because I wanted to get it, but nobody had it. Everybody's running dry. I want it with the slipcover, because it's literally the last 20th Century Fox film to be released. From here on out, it's 20th Century Studios. I am not calling it 20th Century Studios until they have a full catalog of movies. That's gonna take years. Okay, that could take 20 years. Okay, if you can make 20 years worth of movies that makes a damn out of 85 years of legacy, I will call you 20th Century Studios. But until then, it's not worth the title. You only have 2 titles, and only one I actually really enjoyed, which I'm about to review right now. Let me know what you guys think about Underwater down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I will see you guys in the next one.